Randy Johnson had 14 career opening day starts.
What?
In an unbelievable body of work. He's spending this opening day, however, in Cooperstown, New York, specifically at the Fenimore Art Museum, where Randy Johnson is sharing his 40-year passion for photography in his first ever solo exhibition at the Fenimore Art Museum in Cooperstown. It's going to be on view from April 1st to September 17th. And the Hall of Famer Randy Johnson joins us this morning on MLB Central. Randy, you were telling us during the break, this is the first time you've seen your photographs hung up on the wall in this form. What do you think of it?
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's a passion that I've had going all the way back to my college days. And since I've retired, I've done a lot of work with the USO, and then I've gone on a lot of photo trips. And the one destination that I continue to go back to is Africa. And was asked earlier last year if I would like to display some of my photography in Cooperstown, and I said sure, and then I got all the details, and the day has finally come where I was able to look at the work in Phoenix before it got crated up and shipped here, but to see it on the wall now, it's just a completely different perspective. And, it's my 15th opening day, if you will, now. Yeah. Being here and my first photography exhibit opening up tomorrow. It's my opening day, and it will be it's a perfect day for me.
Randy, I'm listening to you talk about your trips. What's the craziest moment you've captured on film?
Well, I haven't had anything too outrageous, but I often wonder why, when you sit in a Jeep, as most people do when they're on a trip like this, you'll have lions walking right by, stop and look at you, and then they continue on. And I've often wondered why they just don't hop in their car and have you for lunch. But I'm thankful they don't. But I guess up to this point, that's the only thing I've ever really wondered. I've never had any major encounters. Everything has always been pretty safe, and I'm very fortunate about that. I'll be going back there for my 5th time later in August this year.
Randy, you talk about going to Africa and all exotic places, but during your playing career, did you take the camera on the road? And if you did, what was your favorite city to shoot in? Where was the place that you would kind of get out and hit the streets?
I wish I did that more. I studied photojournalism for a couple of years at USC while I was playing baseball there, and then I got drafted out of USC. I went to the minor leagues. I started in Jamestown, New York in the New York Penn League, and then played in West Palm Beach A-ball, and then Jacksonville AA and Indianapolis AAA. And during that whole period, I never really brought my camera out. I was just trying to really concentrate and become a better pitcher. And so photography really took a back seat. There was times where I brought my camera. I've come across some old negatives that I have of old Tiger Stadium and just some candid shots of maybe some of the players that I was playing with back then or the ballpark itself. I wish I had done that more of the older ballparks that I had played at. Unfortunately, I didn't. 2 of my older photos that I have in my house still, one is from probably 1983 from USC. I was walking down a back alleyway behind, fraternity row, if you will, in the alley behind there, and there was a giant dumpster, and it had a Mini Cooper that was dumped in the back of the dumpster. So I took a picture of that, and that's been lasting to me, so much so that it's in my house. And then an impactful picture that I took with a black and white camera that I had back in 1992 in Seattle. During the wintertime, I was down at Pike Place Market, and that area has changed considerably to where it is now. But it had snowed there and there was snow on the ground, and there was an old magazine stand there, and I had black and white film in my camera, and I backed up against the wall as far as I could go so I could get the magazine rack and the salesperson there and some of the people walking down the sidewalk in the picture. And that's been a lasting picture of mine, too. It's very ominous, slow shutter speed. There was a gentleman walking with a big black trench coat and a hat, and he's kind of blurred, so it's kind of an ominous picture with snow on the ground, and it's a black and white picture. But those are two of my favorite pictures that I've taken. And then obviously the leopard behind me is one of the main pieces in this exhibit. One of the main pieces in my exhibit here. I have the different versions that I took of that particular picture. And the one I have in my house is a vertical picture from head to tail. This one is a little bit closer. So you could imagine if the leopard had a glove in front of its face, that would be me on the mound.
That's a good point. Randy, we'll get you out of here on this one. Obviously, a whole host of new rules for 2023 in Major League Baseball. What are your thoughts on the pitch clock, pitch timer?
Well, I think I never had a problem getting on the mound and getting the sign and pitching. I think when you're in the flow of the game, you want to have good tempo. And I think it's only going to help the game, definitely. They've been working on trying to speed the game up forever. And I think that, having done a little bit of work in the minor leagues for the Arizona Diamondbacks, I've gone to some games, and they're on the pitch clock. And I know the games are like 2.5 hours long. So if that can carry over to the major league level, I think everybody's going to be happy.
Randy, thank you very much for the time. Congratulations on the exhibit. Once again, it's at the Fenimore Art Museum in Cooperstown, New York. It's on view beginning tomorrow, April 1st, all the way through September 17th there in Cooperstown. Randy, congratulations on this exhibit, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.